Greetings from New Jerusalem 777. The title of this video is called Too Many Errors of the Calvinist Doctrine. This is an intro video, by the way, and I'm just going to go briefly over what is going to be entailed. Okay, first of all, I'm going to tell you the basis of their core beliefs, okay, which is based on the TULIP, which you probably know from my other video that I've done in response to Monica Dennison's video. Total depravity, their meaning of total depravity is man's absolute inability to choose or reject God. The fate has already been set. Unconditional election, their definition is God elected, chose, or predestinated only a few to go to heaven. The rest goes to hell. Limited atonement, their definition is Jesus' blood was shed only for the elect, which they believe is the ones that are the God chosen from the beginning, before the foundations of the earth. Irresistible grace, their definition is God forcing one to choose him and another to reject him. It's already been said again, once again. Perseverance of the saints, their meaning is one who persevered to the end determines one's eternal salvation after they die or upon their death. Okay, that's their meaning, you know. So basically they don't really know if they're going to heaven anyway. So okay, this is one of the terminologies they use. Okay, they use the sovereignty of God very often by utilizing or, you know, giving several verses that point out their doctrine, you know, the validation of their doctrine. But these verses don't really do that, okay? The number one is Psalms chapter 5, verse 5. The foolish shall stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. But let's compare with this verse. John chapter 3, verse 16 and 18, it talks about, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, so whomsoever shall believe in him and shall not perish, but shall have everlasting life. And who, you know, and he did not send his Son down here to condemn the world. He sent him down here so that the world might be saved through him. Okay, and he didn't want to condemn the world. Okay, and you know, you can go on, you can read that. Okay. The next one, Psalm chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born. That's all of us. That's 100%. The whole human race, not just you know, some is, you know, exempted, and the others, the many others, the ones that this described. Okay, but let's compare it with Romans chapter 3, verse 9 to 18. It talks about where there is none righteous, no, not one that understandeth God's ways, none even seeketh after God's, you know, way, and that's the universality of guilt. The next one, number 3, Romans chapter 3, verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Well, okay, let's compare this with Genesis chapter 33, verse 1 to 20. Okay, well, it talks about the kindness of Jacob and Esau. You know how they got back together, and Esau forgave Jacob, okay? Because, yeah, of course, Jacob did wrong, and Esau was angry, and Esau wanted to kill him, of course, okay? So let's just put that in a nutshell. And Esau forgave him, but even though Esau forgave him, Jacob still wanted to give him his birthright that he deserved. And Esau said, no, I had enough, you know, I have more than enough, and I'm very blessed or whatever. So that's a beautiful story right there that the Calvinists don't even tell you. They miss out on that. They miss that. Okay, but that's a big part. Okay, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 20. By faith, Isaac blessed both Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. That's prophetic anyway, okay? I'll get into that later on. Number 4, 1 John chapter 4, verse 6. We are of God. He that knoweth God heareth us. He that is not of God heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Excuse me about reading from the King James Version Bible. But I don't think I'm one of those King James onlys, okay? But let's compare this with this verse. It's verse 7 to 21 of the same chapter. God is love. It talks about that we ought to love one another. And we love God because he first loved us, okay? It's not the other way around. So it's appreciating his grace. And if one say that they love their brethren, one say that they love God but hates his brethren, then they are a liar, okay? Number 5, 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Okay, let's compare those verses with, let's compare that verse with verses 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us ward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Okay, again, that tells you that man does have God did grant man free will to decide. Thank you. Okay, also Ephesians chapter 5, verse 2. It shows you the God's richness and his mercy. Okay, so that again, it shows you that God is love. Okay, we know that he's going to judge sin and judge the wicked. We know all that, and I'll get to that later on. Okay, some common terminology Calvinists use. The foreknowledge of God is an attribute of God, and it's basically the knowledge of things to be or to come. Okay, number 2, the predestination of God. Act of God for, that's one of his acts. For the saved, and it's not for the lost. And also election is an act of God, and it's not for the saved. It's not for the lost, but for the saved. So you have to be saved and born again in order to benefit from these two, okay? Okay. The TULIP, I went on this website. I'll give the link to it online. You can look it up and you can read all about it. But tulips are associated with the turban because during their full bloom, they look like a turban. Okay, they are thought to resemble a turban. Okay, and by the way, the tulips were not originated from Harlem. They originated in the Middle East, and they were introduced in Europe by the 16th century. Okay, now here's some biblical warnings for heeding to false teachings. Here's some scriptural warnings. Okay. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. Matthew chapter 6, verse 6. That's written by Jesus. And we also read verse 7 to 19. This talks about the lack of understanding who Jesus is, man's different opinions regarding the identity of Jesus, and how Peter knew who Jesus was. Next. For as much as we have heard that certain which went out from us have troubled you with words, subverting your souls, saying, ye must be circumcised and keep the law, to whom we gave no such command. And that's Acts chapter 15, verse 24. Next, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Matthew chapter 15, verse 8 to 9. That was told by Jesus himself as well. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 19. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devil, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having the conscience seared with the hot iron. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1 and 2. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that were written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of this holy city, from the book and from the things which are written in this book, according to Revelation chapter 22, verse 18 and 19. And the last one is, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more of the child of hell than yourselves. Woe unto ye, you blind guides, which say, whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing, but whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools and blind, for whether it is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifieth the gift. Whosoever therefore shall swear by the altar, swear by it, and by all things thereon. And whoso shall swear by heaven, swear by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth thereon. And that's Matthew chapter 23, verse 15 to 22. By the way, I'm just got to be quick on this video because it's only 10 minutes. But I'm going to do another video because I'm going to go further in detail on some of these scriptures. So I encourage all you guys to read and study the Bible, study to show yourselves approved unto the Lord. Okay, according to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. And I urge you all to do that. And God bless.